Hi, and welcome to Chef Maxwell's Kitchen, where we get a chance to play with great Virginia food every episode. And we got a really good one for you today. It's pasta, one of my favorite foods, but we're making it with an eggplant and tomato sauce. It's really good, it's good for you, and I won't say it's low in fat, let's say it's high in vitamins, okay? It does have some fat because we're using heavy whipping cream. Now I've got this pan on here getting hot. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to it. Not much, just a little bit. And I'm going to add some garlic. Let's listen to this real closely because we can tell whether or not it's working. Yeah, it's working. All right. All right, so we've got that working. Now I'm going to take some portobello mushrooms. Put those in there. I'll use 2 of these. Make sure there's plenty of them there. I'm going to stir this around. We want the garlic to be a little bit on the brown side, and we want the mushrooms to be a little bit soft. All right, well, that's working. I'm going to talk to you about the eggplant. Voila, eggplant. I'm not exactly sure why it's called an eggplant. I think it's because the originals were egg-shaped, right, and because it's got a little egg background flavor, right? So eggplant. I roasted it in the oven until it was soft, and when you roast them in the oven, it starts to expand. The steam inside will start to expand and push the skin out. Right? And when you take it out of the oven, after it's soft, you let it cool for a little while, and the steam subsides, and it gets this wrinkled appearance. Now I'm going to take this pulp out. I'm just going to scrape it out. Just to get it out of the skin. It comes out real easy. All right. I'm going to add some tomatoes to this. And let that stir around a bit. And I'm going to chop this eggplant up just a little bit. Get all that. What's down in the bottom of the pan here is called a fond, F-O-N-D. The French are famous for it. Right? It's all the bits and particles of the food that have caramelized at the bottom of the pan. And you don't want it to get too dark because it will get a little acrid tasting. All right, and I'm just going to chop this up a little bit. And this is pretty much fully cooked eggplant, so we're not too worried about uniformity, although we like to pay attention to uniform cuts whenever we're playing with food. So now into the pot that goes. Now we're going to add a little bit of parsley to that to kind of soften it. All right. And now that it's come back to heat, we're going to add some heavy cream. Now the key here is to let this simmer now until it starts to thicken up a bit. Heavy cream will thicken as you boil it. You don't want to boil milk or other milk products because there's not enough fat in them to hold it together while it boils. It'll curdle on you, but heavy cream won't do that. So we're going to bring this up to a boil. Now we also want to add a little lemon juice to this, but we don't want the lemon juice to get added until the last minute because we don't want it to affect we don't want it to curdle the cream. So we're just going to add it at the very last minute. So I'm going to add a little bit of cheese, parmesan cheese. We'll taste it to see about salt and pepper. Parmesan cheese usually adds enough of a salt note to it, so you don't really need to add salt and pepper, but you always want to taste it and make sure, because you don't want to serve food to your family that you haven't tasted already and you don't know that it's good. All right, so here we are. Right. This has got about 2 or 3 more minutes of cooking that it needs to do to get to the right thickness. When that's done, we're going to toss it with the pasta, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, now this is the right thickness. You can see how it's holding together really, really nicely. We're going to add a little bit of lemon juice. All right. Give it some acid. Acid will help cut the fat when you digest it, so it makes it easier to absorb. I'm going to add a little bit of more parsley to it. Get that spooned over there. We're going to take and put that up on the plate. This is just boiled according to the package directions. It's a real linguine. And that won't last too long here. Now we're going to take the sauce. And spoon it over the top of this pasta. I like a lot of sauce. Now it's eggplant sauce. There's no meat in this. There's a little dairy, so if you're a vegan, this is not for you, but if you're a vegetarian, this can be. All right, we're going to go ahead and put some more cheese on here. All right. And some more parsley. And there we go. Linguine with roasted eggplant sauce. All Virginia products, and it's good for you as it is good tasting. For more delicious recipes using Virginia-grown fruits and vegetables, contact Lisa Lloyd at the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services at 102 Governor Street, Richmond, Virginia, 23219. You can find all of the recipes from Chef Maxwell's Kitchen at saveourfood.org. And you could go to chefmaxwell.net and order a copy of this cookbook, 10 Years of Tasty Television.